Hello everybody, excuse me, and welcome to episode 22 of This Old Knit. I am your host Nina, otherwise known as Ine on Ravelry and Instagram and Pinterest. You can find a group and links to the stuff that I'll talk about most of the time in the Ravelry thread for the episode. And I have a lot to share with you today, so I we'll try to get started. First off, I just wanted to say that I've noticed on YouTube I'm actually kind of dropping in subscribers, and I had somebody put a dislike on the last episode, so I know I can't let that stuff get to me because this is who I am, so you're either going to be watching or you're not, but if there's anything that I do that's kind of a different setup or something like that, if it's hard to hear, or if the video quality isn't so good, or if there's a segment that you don't enjoy, please feel free to leave feedback, because I can only get better if you tell me. Just as I say to my team at work about reviews and about doing one-on-ones and stuff, that I don't expect people to change anything if I don't tell them that there's anything wrong. So, yeah, enough seriousness about that. But I have been working on lots and lots of stuff. There was one night that I worked on, I think, 4 different projects in little spaces of time, just because I was up really late. It was after the kids went to bed, and I just felt like this flurry of creativity, and I wanted to work on all the things. So I did get quite a bit done on a lot of stuff. And then we obviously went camping this past weekend, and then I took today off because it was Megwin's first day of school. So now we're kind of just unpacking everything from camping. We usually do all of our laundry today, kind of clean out the cooler, get everything in a state where it goes back down in the basement, because that's where we store like our tent and stuff. And yeah, so I typically take the day after we come back from our trips off, so that we have time to reset the system and get things ready for the work week. But I have 2 finished objects. Oh my god. I'm sure you guys all get sick of seeing the same things over and over and over again. One of them is the bankhead hat for my husband, and the colors are actually not showing up very well on the podcast, I've noticed, but I did take a really good picture that I posted on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to see all of the colors in it, but here it is. So it has maroons, kind of a forest green, a dark gray. I think there's kind of a navy blue color, and I apologize, there's dog fur on it. There's kind of dog fur on everything in my house because we have 2 dogs. But it fits my husband really well. So I actually tagged Dan from Bakery Bears podcast, because my husband's head is very hard to fit. He has a very large head, and both of my children are actually on track to have that same large head. So commercial hats don't fit him, but this one works great. It's nice and stretchy, and the yarn is Briar Rose Fibers, but I don't know what the base is, and I asked my mom. She does not know either. She said that she bought it at a wool festival, and it was in a basket that was labeled Orphan Skeins, so she got a really good deal on them. And I have 2, so I probably will knit some mittens to go with this for him. He said that he wore it just in the house to try it out and see how it felt, and he said it was so incredibly warm that he actually had to take it off. So it should be great for the winter time when he's out bushcrafting or when we're camping, because we do camp well into the fall. Typically we do our last camping trip in November time frame, so we don't go when it's snowing, but up until it snows, pretty much we will camp. And this year we're actually talking about maybe getting a little cabin, because there are some cabins at the place that we went to this weekend near the lake, and they're small cabins, but they've got, you know, like a little heater and an outside grill, but they also have a place inside to cook, so that might be kind of fun. So we'll think about that. If not this year, then maybe next year when Joshua's a little bit older. But yeah, so that was a very fun knit. I probably will make some more. This is definitely a great go-to pattern for my husband, and yeah, that's a good thing to have in your back pocket. So that's the first thing I finished. The second thing that I finished is actually for a swap that I do every year, and I think I've mentioned it a couple times on the podcast. So the Itty Bitty Knits group, which is kind of a Susan B. Anderson related group. She's actually one of the moderators in the group. Every year they do an Advent swap, so you give a gift for every day of leading up to Christmas, and then one larger gift on Christmas. Typically they're set themes for each day, either like something white on one day, something red, something that has to do with Santa Claus, reindeer, that kind of stuff. So it's really fun. And this year, Mel, who's the other moderator, Woman in a Shoe, she combined it with, we've been doing an alphabet swap over the years, and I joined the group when they were on C, so C is for cupcake, was that swap. And it's funny to look back at the pictures because Megwin was a baby when that swap happened. So I've been friends with these ladies for 6 years now. I've been on Ravelry for longer than that because I was a member of Ravelry before we moved to Ohio. So when we still lived in California, I was a member of Ravelry. I think I'm like number 50,000 or somewhere in the 50,000s is my membership. So I joined in, I think, 2008, 2007 or 2008. May have been, no, it would have been sooner than that because that's when we moved to Ohio. Anyway, ignore me. 2005, maybe? Yeah, because I started knitting in 2004. So probably 2005 is when I joined. I'll check, and then I'll put it in the show notes. Anyway, long story short, I started on my package for this year. The swap is a little bit smaller this year. There's only 13 people that have signed up, but that's okay. It's really fun, and it's a secret swap, so your partner does not know that you have them, and you kind of just look at the things that they like. We all fill out a questionnaire, and it's fun just kind of looking at them on all the different places where they are, on either social media or if they have a blog, or just looking at Ravelry posts or their favorites, that kind of stuff. So I knit a washcloth. One of the requirements is a washcloth. So this is an Elaine Fitzpatrick pattern. All of her patterns are free on her blog. This one is called the Polar Bear. So she does bibs and washcloths, and they're really nice and easy. I just whipped this one up in a couple of hours. It's just what is it, sugar and cream cotton, dishcloth cotton, in a red color. And I'm thinking that I'm going to also enter this in the Pen Hook and Needles cowl for the something red. Because I just joined that group recently, and this would actually qualify for that. They're doing a knit along for the Go Red campaign, which is the American Heart Association heart disease awareness stuff, and we do a lot of stuff with American Heart Association through my work as well. So we're doing like Heart Walk, and I'm not participating in the Heart Walk just because I have too much on my plate right now, so I told them that I can't do it. But they do fundraising activities as well, so I'm going to make some of my homemade granola bars and provide those as like refreshments for one of the things we're doing. So I'm participating in a way, and that's just what I can do right now. So that's a fun cowl if you want to go check it out. I will also put a link in the show notes for that. So those are my two finished objects for this week. Not huge, but hey, it's stuff that's done, which is nice. And then whips. I have a ton of whips. The first one I want to show is actually not knitting related, but I'm very, very excited about it. So while we were doing the drive to the lake, I had my cross stitch with me, and I don't usually do my cross stitch once we get to camping because camping is dirty. It just is, especially with kids. So everything's gonna get dirty. And I just, sorry, my ear is ringing for some reason, so I apologize if I'm kind of touching it, but it is ringing more when I'm talking. So I don't want to get like soot and ashes and stuff on my cross stitch because that might actually stain it, and I've put a ton of time into this. It's been kind of a year in the making. But on the car ride, I did it on the car ride there, and I don't think I worked on it on the car ride back. But basically, I finished the August square. I finally put the eyes on the fish on the July square, and I called it the June square last time, so I apologize. June is Princess and the Pea. So that square is done other than back stitching. I did a lot of the November square for Little Red Riding Hood. So I just have Little Red Riding Hood's face and her arm to finish. And I think I have a couple stems on leaves to finish. Yeah, it looks like I have 2 stems on the leaves, and I ran out of this orange color, so I had like 2 stitches left on that little leaf on the bottom there. And I started on December, so just a little bit, but I am so stinking excited that I'm getting close to being done with this guy. So I'm really on track to get this ready for Megwin's birthday, which is what I would like to do. She's got a December birthday. And I always try to do something kind of special for her birthday because it's right before Christmas, and I think December birthdays sort of get, I'm wearing it, it's a bib. I think they sort of don't get as much attention maybe because Christmas is such a big deal, especially in the U.S. Obviously it isn't everywhere in the world, but around here it's a big deal, and there's a lot of focus on that, so I think that things get combined. You kind of don't have as many people that can come to your birthday parties because they've got family engagements and stuff like that. So kind of my longer term idea as she gets older is to have a party for her, and it's like the week before Christmas more or less, and offer for parents to be able to go do their Christmas shopping, and their kids can stay and hang out at the party with us, and they have some free wrapping time while the kids are being entertained at our house or wherever we choose to host the party. She has some ideas. I think she wants to do a zoo party at some point, which I think would be kind of fun. They decorate our zoo with Christmas lights and stuff, so that might be kind of neat. And yeah. So anyway, I want this to be for her birthday, not for Christmas, and I need time to take it and get it framed and matted. So I am definitely on track to do that, and hopefully I will have a finished guy to show you somewhat soon. But it's going really well, and I'm having a lot of fun with it again, and I'm excited to start my next project. So I don't know if I'm gonna do, I've got like a Christmas sampler, I've got the Fibery Friends sampler that I've shown on previous podcasts, and I also have one that is a Cherry Blossom Festival sampler that a good friend of mine from the Itty Bitty Knits group, J.M. Ediger, I think is her Ravelry name, bought me the pattern for. So yeah, I don't know which of those I'll do. I have the full kit for all of them, so I could do any one of them. I might do the Christmas one though, because that would be really fun to be working on in the holidays. And then if I don't finish it, I'll just put it away for starting to work on next year. Because I got nothing but time. While I'm recording, I'm making some quinoa downstairs. I don't know if I've mentioned before on the podcast, but I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for a pretty long time at this point. Even when I was really little, I didn't really like meat that much. From what my mom said, I ate very small pieces of it. And I remember like loving vegetables. Like when I would go to my great grandma's house in southern Ohio, she did a lot of canning and stuff, and they had a pretty large garden, I think. And my great grandpa Clyde would sit with me and we would have feasts. I called him my eating buddy. And I would sit there and eat like 2 mason jars of canned green beans. My great grandma made the best canned green beans. I've never had any like that since then. Oh, they're so good. I miss them. I miss her, of course, as well. But yeah, good memory. Huge segue. But anyway, I'm vegetarian. So if you're all interested, from time to time I could share recipes and stuff. I've shared some stuff on Instagram of kinds of things that I eat. And I know Yarder Woman is trying to switch over to being vegan, I think. But I know sometimes people say, I've had people say to me before at work and in other settings, well, what do you eat? Do you eat just salads? And they can't kind of think of creative ways to use vegetables. So I'd love to share that with all of you if you're interested. So let me know in the thread and I can share that kind of stuff with you. So anyway, I apologize. I'm kind of tangenty today. I'm all over the place. I don't have a plan. That's okay though. And I am missing a needle, I think. Yep, I'm totally missing a needle. I keep losing these. That's one reason I don't use straight needles. Ah, okay. I have it stuck in the yarn ball. I'm good. Yay. I'm smarter than myself. So I did not work on the blanket very much this week, but I forgot to show it last week. So I'm thinking maybe if I want to show it again on the podcast, I might start measuring it so that I can give you measurements of how much it grew, because it's obviously growing in a square, which is fine because I believe king size beds are more or less a square. And right now I'm aiming for a couch blanket, but if it gets bigger than that, that's great. Oh no, the kids have gotten something on it. And I'm out of wool wash. I had ordered some from, oh, it's syrup. Oh my god. Well, it's gonna get lots of stuff like that on it anyway with 2 kids. I ordered some more from Tuft Woolens, and I think she must have gone to Stitches Midwest because I ordered it like a month ago and I haven't got it yet. So I'm guessing she probably must have closed her shop so she could travel and stuff. But I love Tuft Woolens, and that's basically all I use now for my wool wash because she's also local to me, so I feel like I'm kind of supporting a local business as well as it's just amazing soap. And she had a new scent that she was offering pre-orders for. It was like blueberry lemon or something. It was really pretty, so I think Megan will just like using it's kind of got yellow with blue swirls through it, so I think she'll just like using that color of soap. But I imagine it smells amazing like everything else that Martha makes. So if you've not tried Tuft Woolens, please do, because it's great. It's amazing. So that was my 10 stitch blanket from Frankie Brown, and the yarn is Cascade Eco Duo. And then my next whip, which I had so much fun with, and this was the main one that I worked on knitting wise while I was camping, is the my Octopus Garden socks. This is Wool and Vine Yarns. Oh, ooh. I have my Tuft Woolens in there too. Joshua loves to eat this. I have to keep it away from him because he will... Here, I'll show you. He eats it. So Martha, you make addictive baby stuff. He also will take like deodorant I try to eat it. So anything in this kind of a container, he's crazy for, but it does smell amazing, so he does try to eat it though, so I have to hide it. So this yarn is Kristen's Footsie Base. So it's a BFL blend, and it's amazing. It's so soft and bouncy, and I just love everything about it. She had it as a limited edition because she said she has trouble stocking it all the time, but she had said she would consider doing it seasonally, and I absolutely would buy it seasonally from her because it's wonderful. I can't imagine how these socks would not hold up amazingly well given the nice tight twist. It's just great. So this colorway is Octopus Garden, and it's a little more saturated than some of her other skeins I've seen on her other bases that are merino. So I think the BFL must take up the dye a little bit more. Same for the fairy hair that I bought from her. It's a little bit deeper of a color, which I think is fabulous. I love it. And don't tell my children, but I bought myself a new Knit Happy tape measure. My children destroy tape measures like nobody's business. I cannot keep a working one to save my life. They will pull them in and out until they don't retract anymore. And then, they get all stretched out, so they're useless. So I bought a couple of them from Knit Picks because I was ordering some stuff, which I'll show you later. And I needed to get to the free shipping, and I really needed tape measures anyway. So I'm hiding it in my knitting bag. This is why people use knitting bags. So anyway, here is my sock. And I started the What's Up Rufus pattern, and I don't know what was going on with it, but it was a 72 stitch sock anyway. That's kind of a little bit big for my leg, and this is a little bit thicker of a yarn. It's the standard weight that I tend to use, but I tried to knit that pattern and I got to the point where the patterning started, so I finished the whole ribbing. I actually did extra ribbing, and then I started the pattern and I was off by a stitch. I needed an extra stitch. So I ripped it out, I tried it again. Same thing. I put a note on the pattern and I kind of waited to see if anybody would respond to me. I checked people's project pages. Nobody mentioned anything about there being an error in the pattern. The designer didn't get back to me. Nobody else responded to me. So I don't know. It's probably just me. My brain isn't really in a space to do complexly patterned socks anyway. So I just went with the vanilla latte pattern, which I've never knitted before. And it's actually very similar to the Bankhead in that it has, it's ribbing, but then it has a rest row of just knitting around it. So it's every other row is ribbed, which I think is really nice. It looks pretty. It looks great with this yarn because this yarn doesn't really need a busy pattern. It's beautiful all on its own, but I didn't want to knit plain vanilla socks. I kind of wanted something a little bit more complicated than that because I have another pair of vanilla socks on the needles that I haven't really touched, so I think I wanted a little bit something more. And once I finish these, I think I might try to do one of Lena's patterns from A Wee Bit Knitty because she's slowly releasing them. And I have several of hers in my queue because they're just gorgeous. So if you haven't checked her pattern designs out, it's Lena Gerald, I think. And she's, I'm going to screw it up, Fjorken Badekak on Ravelry. And she also has the podcast A Wee Bit Knitty, which I love. And she's been sharing some cool stuff on Instagram, and she just had a new episode finally and shared her craft room, and I just love her podcast. She's a really funny person, and I like her personality a lot. She seems like someone that if I were closer geographically that I would probably enjoy hanging out with. And I definitely enjoy like corresponding with her on Instagram and stuff. and the interactions I've had with her in the forums. So I've got half a leg, that's a little more than half a leg done. And this was a nice easy pattern, great car knitting, great campfire knitting. I didn't need to have a lot of light to be able to knit it. It was really easy to pick up and put down because I spent a lot of time chasing Joshua. He was all over the place. This is the first camping trip we've taken since he's been walking. So that was a totally different experience. In Coddington, you told me that you were chasing your son, Tiberius, up and down the street, and that's exactly what I was doing at the campground. And I'll put some kind of footage at the end of the podcast because it's really cute. And he was just into everything. He was so engaged, and he loved just being outside, and we spent a lot of time outside in our backyard, but I think just that it was new, he got to see a lot of stuff, and he was a force to be reckoned with, and it was great. But I didn't get a lot of knitting time because of that, but that's okay. I got a lot of knitting time there and back in the car. So I'm knitting that on size 2 Addy Sock Rockets. That's a 2.75 millimeter Addy Sock Rockets. So you'll see some more of that later, because it'll take me a little while to finish that pair of socks. And then, last but not least, I was really bummed for this one because I wanted to finish Megwin's sweater when we were camping, but I realized once we had kind of left the house and were on the road that I had not brought 2 circular needles, and the one needle I had brought had too short of a cord to do magic looping. I didn't want to screw my cord up, so I couldn't do anything because I'm on the sleeves. So it just had to sit there in its little bag and laugh at me for forgetting. So I hear someone on the stairs. Anyway, this morning, while I was up being a nervous Nelly about Megwin starting school, I pulled the waist yarn out and I just did up to where I would join the pink, because I left off with a brown stripe. So I haven't really done very much at all on this sweater since last time I showed it to you. But if all goes well, I will be able to get those sleeves banged out pretty quickly because, like I said before, I'm going to do 3/4 sleeves, not full sleeves. So that's that. What's up, sweetie?
I want to do a segment.
Oh, you want to come do a segment? Okay.
Look.
Do you want to talk about your...
Merry-go-round,
I know, I saw that. Do you want to talk about your first day of school? That would be a fun segment. Uh-oh.
Whoops.
Can you put that back on? She's turned my yarn swift into a merry-go-round. Okay. So,
First,
oh my
show
goodness.
off this.
Oh yeah, I saw that was a cool creation you had made.
But
Tell me about it, because I don't know what it is. Don't take it apart yet.
it's a car.
Cool. Wow, you are very perfumey. Megan put her own perfume on today, and whew, it's a lot. Yes?
Mom,
Mhm.
how's this car really supposed to look like?
I don't know. I don't know if we have the instructions anymore. But I like the way you've built it. Can you hold it up so they can see?
Look, this is a special car I made. These are the lights, but they just drag along.
Yeah, maybe we could
around.
move those up one and they wouldn't drag. We'll see. We can fix it later. Just talk about it. That's okay.
Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
I have a good design.
You have a good design? Okay. It's interactive.
Now they'll just glow everywhere from the
Ooh,
sides.
I like that.
Ta-da!
Okay. Cool. Building in action. Oh, I see what you did. Okay. This was a little Mini Cooper, but one of our friends' children came over and took it apart, and I couldn't find all the pieces. It came for free with a Lego set we got.
What? Which of our friends?
I think it was Aaron.
Aaron came
when he was still a little baby.
Aww.
It was a long time ago that he took it apart. Are you almost done constructing it? Because you can't share it if you're not done constructing. You want me to do that while you're putting the wheels on? What happened to the wheels?
Wait, here.
Oh,
I got one.
That's a good idea. Okay. Put the wheels on. Alright, I like it.
Look,
It's like a moon rover.
See?
That's sweet.
That's a good way to attach it to there.
Ah, cool. I like it.
This is my car. And that's fine.
Oh well. Let's just finish sharing it. We'll fix it later.
This is my car. These are the silver lights and the red lights just on the floor. See the seats through the window, and then these are the windows. I built them all together like that, and I also designed these two lines together.
I like that.
See?
Yeah. It's a good base for your wheels.
And my wheels are attached with these little thingies.
Those are called axles.
And they're attached with axles, and this is the roof for the car because it's not waterproof.
Yeah.
And I also attached them, and I also roofed them with these special little things.
I like that. Okay. How was your first day of school, Megwin?
It was very great. I got a Star Blast, which is kind of candy, and I also got a star.
Yeah. What did you get the star for?
I got the star because I had a super day. And I'm so happy I got that candy, and then I ate it.
Yep. Did you make a lot of friends?
I made a lot of friends, and then someone was starting to hit their balloons to hit the pillows at me. They were having a pillow fight with me, and the teacher said no.
Oh, yeah.
They hurt me a lot. They were just whacking with me like that.
Oh, well, I'm glad the teacher stopped that. That was good.
She said no, but actually they didn't listen.
Oh, did they not get a superstar day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they still got a star and some candy.
Okay.
Because the rest of the time they were pretty cooperative.
Okay. Well, it was the first day. People have to learn the rules, right? They didn't know that was the rules.
But then I saw the red sign, and then I was being quiet, but then everybody yelled.
Oh, my.
And then I told them to be quiet, but they didn't listen. And then I told them again and again, but they didn't listen at all. They didn't have a pretty super day, but they still got candy. They weren't that cooperative. They weren't any cooperative all day.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But I was.
This story is changing so much from what I heard earlier. I guess we're hearing more details now.
So the details, well, only once they were cooperative.
Okay. And you listened to songs?
Yeah. That was when they were cooperative.
Yeah.
Can I have one of those?
Yes, you can have one if you're done with your segment. Are you all done?
Yep.
Okay. Why don't you take that candy? And thank you for your segment. Go on.
I'm going to look for something else to share.
Okay. Well, I think that was a pretty long segment. I'm not going to do a super long podcast because I want us to eat our lunch. Okay? Oh, thank you. That was so sweet of her. She brought one for me. Okay. And then for acquisitions this week, like I said, I put it in a nitpicks order. So I got a couple of things for my swap partner in the Advent swap, which I won't share because I want some stuff to be a surprise for them. But I bought some Felici. Okay, I think you've shared him already on the podcast. Okay. Can I finish up and then we'll go downstairs and have some lunch? Oh, actually, can you go check with Daddy if his stuff is ready?
Yet.
Okay, you can share her quickly, okay? I don't want to make your segment be too long. Because I also have some stuff I don't want to forget to share about
This is my Barbie. I dressed her up in a very beautiful dress with a yellow shirt part and a rainbow skirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's blue and orange and yellow.
Yeah.
And green.
It's very 70s.
And black and white.
Yeah. Those were kind of colors that were popular when Mommy was little. Because this is a dress from when Mommy was little. And this Barbie is from when I was little, too. It was Crystal Barbie.
That's Crystal Barbie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I can't find her shoes.
Yeah, Barbie's shoes are terrible. They're really hard to keep track of.
And...
Okay, that's enough sharing, sweetie.
There's one more Barbie I really want
One
to
more?
share.
Okay.
What? Who's her? What's her name?
Well, you don't have her belt on here. This isn't going to stay closed. Alright, I'll just hold it closed for you.
This is the Barbie. What's her name?
This Barbie was the holiday Barbie of 1989? 88, maybe? I don't know. It was a long time ago. I'm holding her dress closed so you can show her.
And this is her hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's her face. She has blue earrings. She had a blue ring a long time ago, but it got cut off.
Okay.
And now she has a blue necklace,
And
blue
she's
eyes.
wearing Japanese Barbie's clothes.
And she has blue eyes.
Mm-hmm. Melinda from the Yonder Woman podcast would like this Barbie outfit. I have a Japanese Barbie from the... there was a world collection of Barbies in the 80s that I have a lot of. I have their outfits and stuff too. They're in like traditional dress.
Were some of your Barbies taken away for some people that didn't have anything?
I don't think my mom gave any of my Barbies to those people. Are you talking about the people that had the fire that Grammy took a bunch of toys and gave them to them? Yeah, I think that was mostly my Little Ponies and my Charmkins. That she took all my Little Ponies and my Little Pony castle.
Your Little Pony castle?
Yeah, I had a big My Little Pony castle.
Well, do you think we can borrow it once?
Well, I don't even know who those people are. I don't think they're probably around here and they wouldn't remember if they even still had it. But yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing, sweetie. Let me finish up because I'm going to start forgetting stuff, okay? Alright. So, Disa from Disa's Craftwork podcast was talking about wanting some Patton's Croy sock yarn on her Instagram. And so I sent her an Instagram reply and said, hey, I'd be happy to grab some for you. And she said she actually had found a person who carried Patton's Croy in Sweden. So she didn't need that, but she said she would like some Felici. And I know that they're doing special reserve Felici on Knit Picks, and they don't ship internationally. So I said, absolutely, I'd be happy to do that. And I asked her if she wanted to do a swap, and she said yes. So I am super excited about that because I've never had anything from Sweden before. So I'm excited to see what she chooses to put in there. I always like seeing the different things that people have and use, and she's super crafty, so I'm sure anything that she sends me will be really cool. So I didn't know what color of Felici she wanted, so I ordered all of them that they had left in stock. Not all of them, literally 2 of each color that they had left in stock. So this is the colorway Countess. Did that start recording? Hang on. Yep. Okay. I think it has a time limit on how long it'll record for before it stops. So anyway, I was saying that I picked up the Knit Picks Felici in Countess in Highland. So that's kind of greens.
Look, Mom.
Oh yeah, cool.
These are my
Yep.
little
In
bits.
Glacier. And in Mosaic. and she said that she liked all of them, Glacier a little bit less, so she asked me if I could send her the other 3 colors, and I was like, yeah, that's great. So I'll keep the Glacier and maybe make something for me or for Megwin with those. I have Gummy Bear as well that I got from Julie before, so be careful, sweetie. Please don't hit me with that.
Julie?
Yeah, she sent me all these
Look!
bags.
Who's her name again?
Crystal. Crystal Barbie.
Crystal Barbie,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm naming her Cinderella. Look! Cinderella dress.
Okay. Hey, Max, can you take your Barbies and play in your pink room for a little bit? I'm almost done. Okay?
Yeah, but once you're done, can we play
Yes.
a little bit?
Absolutely. We can play and we can eat some lunch. Did you save that for me? Okay. I'm just putting it there because I'm not going to eat while I'm recording.
Do you think we can share it?
I think you could have it if you want to go pink rooming. Alright, why don't you take it and you can enjoy it in the pink room. Thank you.
You don't really want.
No, I don't need it. I want my lunch
I
soon.
just want to be generous.
I know you wanted to be generous. Thank you so much, sweetie. That's very kind of you. Okay, so what I forgot to talk about in the last episode is that I had an idea for a cal, and it was going to be super low-key, super easy, because I know I don't have a ton of members, and I really don't have a ton of members who are active in the group. So I'd like to get people just a little bit more active in the group. So I thought what I would do is what's called a double dip cal. So I hear all the time podcasters saying it's fine for you to double dip, triple dip, whatever you want to do with other cals, and those entries will count here as well. So I thought, well, why don't I just do a cal that the whole point of it is that you're knitting something for another cal. And I love participating in knit-alongs, so this would be a fun way for me to learn about other groups and learn about other knit-alongs going on in other groups as well. So anything that you're doing that qualifies for some other knit-along, craft-along, crochet-along, what have you, it counts in mine too. I'm just going to have a chatter thread and just post there. So just chatting is going to count as well. And when it's all done, I will draw from all the people and all the posts that have been put into the chatter thread. I'll come up with a couple of prizes. I'm thinking I'll find a couple different things from my stash and maybe do a gift pattern as well. And that is what I will do. So to participate, just chat in the chatter thread. I already have it open. Post a picture of your FO, just your whip. I'd like if you could leave a link to the thread that talks about the cal that you're in as well, so that I can go and check them out. Because I'd like to find more places to participate in knit-alongs and get inspiration, and I find a lot of inspiration from participating in group craft-alongs. And I found a couple of really good podcasts that way as well. So yeah, I will post prizes when I come up with them. I was going to do, I think, a 3-month time frame. So from whenever I opened the thread, maybe through October. So we'll do August, September, October. And I think I had it open for a little bit of July, maybe. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I'll close the thread at the end of October, and then we'll draw prizes in November. So like I said, super easy, super low key. I just want to get people chatting and sharing stuff and just enjoying being part of the group. Okay, sweetie. Shall I stop? Sorry. Okay, I had to help her start a little video that she wanted to play, and our DVD player is a bit temperamental. I think we need to replace it. So anyway, double dip cal. If you want to tag your projects on Instagram, if you want to share, you can use hashtag double dip cal. And like I said, it'll go for 3 months, and I'm excited to see what everybody comes up with. So just kind of other stuff that's unrelated to knitting. Like I said, we went on a camping trip. That was a lot of fun. We had a really great time. So we were there Friday, Saturday, and then we came back yesterday, and we went to a very large lake west of us. It's like a 325 acre lake. There's horseback riding, there's archery, there's a lodge there, there's fossil hunting, I think. They have kind of a large area of fossil hunting. There was an Indian mound, lots of hiking trails. We spent a lot of time at the lake because we had not been able to go swimming before with the kids, and Megan had a great time. She started feeling really confident in the water, which is wonderful. And Joshua kind of rode around on a floaty, and he had a really good time. He took a beach nap. He chased some seagulls. Yeah, he was just having a great time being outside. It was a really successful, fun camping trip. The only thing that happened is we had a couple of kind of thunderstorms that popped up. So one of them happened at night, which always seems to happen. So we had to run out really quickly and put all the chairs away in the car. And before that, there was like some kind of festival that was happening, which I guess we found out happens like every weekend now, because they sold this nearby campground to some people that conduct like this music festival, and it's very loud. So even as far away as we were, it was pretty loud, and it went on until like 3 a.m. So that was the only unfortunate thing, is that I'm a very light sleeper, so I did not get a lot of sleep this weekend, but that's fine. I had a baby. I've had 2 babies, so I'm used to going on like 4 hours sleep if I need to. And it's not like I was doing like super strenuous mental activity. I was just hanging out and camping. So it was fine. But yeah, otherwise it was really nice weather. It was in kind of the 80s. So that would be, let's see, subtract 30, divide by 2. So like 25 degrees Celsius, roughly. So it was just perfect and great breeze. The only day that was kind of hot and still was the last day we're there, which made it a little bit harder to pack stuff up. But we just sort of went in shifts. So I packed up the inside stuff in the tent, and then my husband usually breaks down the tent while I'm nursing the baby. And Megwin had a great time. She played with lots of people around us. She spent a lot of time outside of the camp, and my husband was a little bit sad about that, but I told him that's kind of what I remember doing when I was camping too, is just going and making camping friends and playing a lot, and I think that's part of the fun. So we just need to get used to that, you know, we are going to have fun together, but it's also that it's a fun activity away from home, and she gets to do some fun stuff that she wants to do. So yeah, as long as she wasn't bothering our neighbors, I was fine with it. So when they were ready to eat dinner or whatever, I asked her to come back to the campsite, or if those kids wanted to go on bike rides. We didn't have bikes with us because we just don't have the capacity yet on the car that we have. We want to get a roof rack, but we don't have one yet. So whenever the kids went to ride bikes, we just asked her to come back, and then we did some other stuff. On Saturday, it was really hot, late day, like after the lake and stuff. Oh, and it was raining. That's when it was raining. Okay. I was like, why were we taking that car ride? So I didn't want us to be all stuck in the tent, because you gotta have it all zipped up when it's raining. So it was kind of hot in the tent. It was okay outside, but it was raining. So we went for a drive, and we went to go get ice cream in the little town nearby. And we got all the way there, and then I realized I forgot my purse in the tent. So we had to go all the way back. And by then it had stopped raining, so we just said, well, let's just make some s'mores and call it a day. So we did that, and we let the tent air out. And yeah, but otherwise we had a really good time. We're hoping that we can go back there again. We really enjoyed the lake. I took a little video of the lake so that you guys would be able to see it. And I took tons of pictures. I shared some on Instagram because I was getting spotty Wi-Fi whenever we were kind of close to the lodge. The lodge had free Wi-Fi, so whenever I could jump on that, that's when I was kind of uploading pictures and stuff. But I have a lot more than what I shared, obviously. So yeah, we're very happy that we had a good camping trip. And now that we know that Megwin's in morning kindergarten, we know we'll be able to do kind of those longer weekend camping trips because we can drop her off at school and then pack up the car, drop the dogs off because we don't take them camping anymore. They're just too old. And they get pampered at the vet anyway. And then we can pick her up and just head out from there. So that's good. We're very happy that we got that schedule for them. I think this week my husband's gonna buy a bike and he's gonna get like the little trailer that the kids can ride in, and he's hoping that he'll kind of make a habit of going and picking Megwin up from school, and then they can go for a ride because we have a bike trail very nearby and they'll be able to take a nice little ride and then come home and eat lunch. So I hope that that works out for them. And then longer term, I will get a bike as well because we'd like to make family bike rides part of our camping and part of our just weekendy type activities. So for this week, I have some friends that are going to come over on the weekend on Sunday, and we'll do a board game night. So I'm excited about that. And it seems like things are getting a little bit more calm at work, which is good. So I am ready to have a more normal schedule and just get back to being more peppy. You know, I usually have a lot of energy, so the way that I've been kind of on the podcast for the last several months, that's not usually how I am. I'm typically a lot more high energy, so I'm ready to get back to that. And yeah, we're having a great summer and I'm looking forward to fall. And so please, as always, come and chat in the group. Talk about anything you want to. Tell me if you want me to share anything on the podcast. I'm always happy to do that. And I hope that you all have a great week and that you get to spend time doing the things that you love. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye. So here we are at the lake. So I thought I'd show a little bit of the lake. So there we go. There's some sailboats out really far. I think it's like a 325 acre lake. And on the other side there's forest. Good job! There's my husband and Megwin way out there. And this area is, there you go, where you swim. And it goes really far that way, and off where you can't see it anymore. And this area actually has one of the last old growth forests in Ohio. So lots of very, very mature trees. So you can see the really dense forest right behind us. And on the other side of the lake as well. Megwin's doing really well with swimming. So there it is. Joshua's over here taking a beach nap.
Nina. Where are you going?
Oh, hi, buddy.
No, you're not. Come here.
Where you going, buddy? In a little circle?